Good morning, and welcome back to This Day in Alternate History. I'm Jason Adams.
And I'm Mer Lafferty. Today is August 27th, 2007, and on this day, in 1896, the Anglo-Zanzibar War was fought between the United Kingdom and the Sultanate of Zanzibar. With a duration of only 45 minutes, it holds the world's record for being the shortest war in history.
The war broke out after the death of Sultan Humad bin Thuwani on the 25th. The Sultan had willingly cooperated with the British colonial administration, and when he died, his nephew Khalid bin Bargash seized power in a coup d'etat. The British supported Hamud bin Muhammad, who they believed would be an easier person to work with, and they delivered an ultimatum to Bargash, ordering him to abdicate.
Bargash refused, and instead assembled an army that consisted of 3,000 men and the Sultan's armed yacht, the HHS Glasgow. While the would-be Sultan's troops worked to fortify the palace, the Royal Navy assembled 5 warships in the harbor. 900 Royal Marines landed to support the loyalist regular army of Zanzibar.
Despite Bargash's last-minute efforts to negotiate for peace via the island's American representative, the British ships opened fire on the palace at 9 a.m. The Glasgow was sunk, and the palace began to collapse. Sultan Bargash retreated to the German consulate, where he was granted asylum, and the shelling stopped after 45 minutes. And so ended the shortest war in history. Incidentally, the British would later demand payment from the government of Zanzibar for the cost of the shells that were fired on their country.
The Royal Navy, having had penciled in several weeks for the war, now found themselves with a lot of extra time on their hands. They decided to see if they could set any more world records. Sailors on the HMS St. George began collecting random bits of string for a giant ball of twine, while the crew of the HMS Sparrow attempted to bake the world's largest strawberry rhubarb pie. The men on the HMS Philomel couldn't decide if they wanted to see how many cigarettes they could fit into their mouth at one time, or if they should try to build the world's tallest human pyramid. In the end, they decided to try both at the same time, with predictably disastrous results. The captains of the HMS Thrush and the HMS Raccoon had a contest to see who could grow the longest fingernails.
The Admiralty, seeing how much morale had improved on the 5 ships, decreed that every warship in the fleet break at least one world record a year, and the Royal Navy soon became known the world over for its superlative achievements. For example, in the First World War, the HMS Bellerophon became famous for its scale model of the Taj Mahal made entirely out of matchsticks. And it was well known that Captain Sowerby of the HMS Indefatigable had the largest beard of bees of any Allied commander. In World War II, the crew of the HMS Nelson gained notoriety for hopping on one foot for the entirety of Operation Neptune, which laid the groundwork for the invasion of Normandy.
And so it came to pass that when Sir Hugh Beaver, managing director of the Guinness Brewery, came up with the idea for a book compiling all known world records, there was already a wealth of material to draw on. The first edition of the Guinness Book of World Records was published in 1955 on, I shit you not, August 27th. I'm Mer Lafferty.
And I'm Jason Adams, and we just totally blew your mind with This Day in Alternate History.